Can you use a VA loan for real estate investing? That's a great question, and the answer is kind of. Here's a couple examples on how you can use a VA loan to get yourself some extra money. Number one, buy a big house and then rent out the extra rooms. So you can use a VA loan on your primary residence only. Buy a house that's too big for just you or just you and your family. Maybe instead of buying a 1 or 2 bedroom, you buy a 3 or 4 bedroom, and you don't need all those bedrooms, and you can actually rent out those extra rooms to somebody who may be willing to pay for it. That's example number one. Number two, buy a house with an ADU. So what's an ADU? It's called an accessory dwelling unit, often called a in-laws quarters or a granny's quarters. It's usually a house that's next to the house, or not necessarily a house, but maybe a dwelling or a small room that's outside, has its own kitchen, bathroom, separate from the regular house. You could buy a house with one of those and then rent it out. And that's how you can benefit using your VA loan to generate a little extra income. Number three, buy a primary residence with a VA loan, live in the property for a year, and then move to another primary residence. And in leaving your existing residence, called the departing residence, you're going to leave the VA loan intact on that particular property. Once you've lived there, you don't have to use a VA loan again. In this instance, you can buy another property with a conventional loan, because let's say you saved up some down payment. Then you can rent that existing property that has the VA loan on it and earn income, and you're still using the VA loan as financing on that particular property. Number four is to buy a duplex with a VA home loan. So in this instance, you have to live in one of the units. So as a duplex, there's 2 units. You live in one side, and then your renter in the other side is paying for partial or all of your mortgage, depending on where you are in the country and what type of property that you have and the income coming in from it. Number five, buy a triplex with a VA loan. So a triplex has 3 units in it. As long as you live in one of the units, this is financeable through a VA loan. You can live in one of the units and then rent out the other 2 units, providing yourself with some passive income coming in. And number 6 is to buy a fourplex with your VA home mortgage. What's a fourplex? It sounds just like what it is. It's a 4-unit property where there's 4 doors attached to each other in that particular property. And in this instance, you would live in one of the units with your VA loan benefit, and then you would rent out the other 3 units. Now, if you can find this, no matter where you're in the country, you should be able to collect most of your mortgage payment through the rent of those other 3 units. So I think that's the great way to go. And then the last one is a mortgage hack. I'm going to give you a bonus tip in this one. And what you're going to do is you're going to buy a fourplex with a VA loan. You're going to live in one of the units and rent out the other 3 units. And then after you've lived there for a year, what I want you to do is refinance that VA loan into a conventional loan. And then when you leave to go buy your next primary residence, you can use your VA loan benefit again to buy a new primary residence, because we've already replaced that VA loan on your existing fourplex that you bought originally. Rent out all 4 units, have income coming in. That's your first investment property that you bought, and now it's producing income for you. And then you can use your VA loan benefit again to buy a property with no down payment going forward. Follow me for more. Thanks for watching.